Hello everyone, this is Statler,
And I'm Waldorf.
and we're here to introduce you to version 1.2 Lore of Cosmology.
Path of Cosmology.
Path of Cosmology.
Started us one off.
I did it again already, yes. or more probably called the Path of Cosmetology.
Slip a T in there, please.
Yes, it just sounds nicer.
This path is available to the Dread Elves, the Highborn Elves, the Sylvan Elves, Undying Dynasties, and Vampire Covenant.
Right. Now this path is very different than all of the other ones in that it basically has double the spells. Because
Yes.
you basically can cast it in two different ways depending on if you want to go with Cosmos or with Chaos.
Yeah, augments or hex, basically.
And yes, and it's basically full of augments and hexes. So how it works, it has duality as it says on the heading. So you have the two versions, Cosmos or Chaos. When you're casting the spell, you have to determine which version, either Cosmos or Chaos, that you're casting. Whenever you successfully cast a spell, and if you didn't have a counter, you gain a matching counter with that version. It's just something that you have to keep track of with this path. So if you successfully cast a Cosmos spell, you get a Cosmos counter. If you successfully cast a Chaos spell, you get a Chaos counter. Now, the next time you use that, you cast a spell in that turn, if it's of the same version, you basically have a -2 to your casting roll, and that's built into the casting values in each spell, and you'll see that when we get to it. So basically, using this particular lore, it's really about thinking through, do you want to do hexes, do you want to do augments? Now, another interesting thing is at the end of the turn, whatever token you have, you flip it for the other token. So if you can really think ahead, you can get a boost on the first spell you cast in the next turn. If you can think and imagine, what makes the most sense. So that makes this a really flexible tool box type of path.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the actual
All right.
spells.
This one has a 0. This one has no attribute because it's all based on this duality.
Right.
No attribute, no trait,
And no
because
trait.
of the benefit of the duality. The first spell is Altered Sight. It casts on an 8 or a 6 if you have the corresponding token. Range is 24. As an augment, your target gains +1 weapon skill and +1 ballistic skill, and as a hex, it's -1 weapon skill and -1 ballistic skill, minimum of 1 on the weapon skill. So for casting of 8, that's a little high, but a lot of times that's going to be casting on a 6.
Right.
So, and casting a -1 weapon skill or ballistic skill on a 6 is good. The fact that it does both makes it useful from turn 1 against most armies.
Correct, because you can usually slow down some shooting or help your own shooting as they're coming in, and when you get into combat, quite often a 1 can mean the difference on you hitting on a 4 or 3 or being hit on a 3 or a 4, so it can be quite helpful. The next spell is the Touch of Heart. It casts on a 7.
Touch the heart.
Oh, sorry, Touch the Heart. I like Touch of Heart better.
Okay.
Cosmetology is all about the heart.
All right.
It casts on a 7. If you have the token, it casts on a 5 up. Range is 18. It is on the Cosmos version, it's focused, so you can target guys. It's an augment, it's instant. The target recovers 1 wound. So basically, you can find somebody in your army and give an extra wound. On the hex side, it's focus, so once again, you can target a single model. It's a hex, it's direct and it's damage. The target suffers 1 hit automatically, and it has armor piercing 6.
So you get any regen or ward save.
So you still get to regen or war save. So
or magic resistance, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can hit on characters or kill that champion or,
Yeah.
do whatever it is you need to do.
Okay, that's nice. I'm casting on a 5 if you're
Yeah,
geared for that.
that's you can one dice it,
The 2 spell is Mind Games, casting on a 7, reduced to a 5 with the duality. 18-inch range. On an augment, and this remains in play, either way you cast it. On augment it, you gain +1 leadership. On a hex, you're -1 leadership. I like this spell a lot, especially casting a -1 leadership, putting a -1 leadership on a 5.
Yeah, anytime you can mess with somebody's leadership is fantastic. And a +1 leadership, you put that on your general, so your bubble got better,
Yeah,
So
that's actually very nice.
this is very nice, and it remains in play.
And for a low casting.
So if the person needs to get rid of it, they have to think about, either doing it this turn or toning down their own magic phase, in their turn. So,
Right,
yeah, I think a lot of remains in play actually are underappreciated.
I agree.
Brings us to the truth of time. Truth of time is we're old. So,
Is that what the truth of time
that's the
is?
truth of time.
It's a
yes.
harsh truth.
It is the hard truth. It casts on a 9. The token version is a 7+, range of 18. It's an augment. It lasts 1 turn. On the augment, when the target rolls for charge, flee, pursuit, or overrun distance, it rolls an extra d6 and discards the lowest. So that helps you basically make your charges, get away, pursue and catch things, and overrun farther. On a hex, the target rolls its charge distance, flee, pursuits, and overrun, same as the other. But in this case, it rolls an additional d6 and discards the highest d6. Just because how dice work, so it makes them a little easier to catch or reduces their range. I think the augment, just the way dice work, is actually a lot better than the hex. Because the more dice you're rolling, the more probabilities you have of rolling a 6.
Right.
Adding more dice to on the hex side, you're not increasing the chance of rolling a 1. You're just
Right.
increasing the chance of getting rid of a 6. So I don't think it's quite as good, but I still think it's a very nice thing to have. Particularly, so if you're trying to make sure that you get that charge off, it's really important to you.
Or reduce his chance of getting one off.
Right,
as
and
well.
then when you win, making sure you catch who you beat. So, or
That's
if you
big.
lose, that you get away. So I think that's really nice.
It's a nice spell.
It is a nice spell. I think it's really good actually on the augment. The hex I think is nice.
Okay. It brings us to Ice and Fire, number 4 spell. Cast on a 9, 7 with duality, 18-inch range. It is a hex missile damage. Instant. On the okay. So on the the augment version, it's not really an augment though, is it? On the what do they call this? The Cosmos
Yeah.
side of this.
Right.
This one, the target suffers 2d6 strength 3 hits with flaming attacks and divine attacks. On the Chaos version of this, the target suffers 2d6 strength 3 hits with armor piercing 3. Ooh, wow. That's really good.
Yeah. Still strength 3, but
Yeah, 50-50 wounding on toughness 3 guys, though.
yeah.
The armor piercing 3. Yeah. Anyway, Ice and Fire, cast on a 9 down to a 7. I like this a lot. It's an 18. These are all 18-inch range, aren't
Most
they?
of them. The first one was a little longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an 18-inch range. It's a nice spell. I'm a fan of this spell. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get the 7 casting value, either one of them is a nice thing to have. Probably the armor piercing is more desirable against most targets.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, but if you don't want to lose your token, you may just say, well, I'm doing Cosmos. I'll go ahead and cast this with Cosmos, even though it's not quite as good because 2d6 without any modifiers is still something that a lot of units don't want to get hit with.
No.
So,
Especially if it's something that, like you said before,
Right.
get somebody in the field
Right,
or
but-
somebody who has ward saves.
yeah, but this is equally, I think, useful
Yeah,
no matter what strategy you're trying to follow.
I agree.
Brings us to the number 5 spell, the Perception of Strength. Cast on a 10, reduced to an 8. 18, so casting value's up a little bit when we get into the 3-die range. It's an augment for Cosmos. It lasts 1 turn. The target gains +1 strength. For Chaos, it's a hex, and target suffers -1 strength. I like anything that can affect strength and/or toughness in a game.
Yeah, I think this is nice. It's a little
high to cast.
A little high for what it is.
We look at, I think it's a 6-up if I remember correctly on the shamanism to cast that +1 strength.
Yeah.
It's 8 on the toughness, but I think so. It's a little high to cast, but
agreed.
But it is.
I love the minus or +1 strength.
Yes.
I just think it's just a touch high.
Yes.
Even if it was a 7/9, would be more appropriate.
Yeah.
Since you can do a dual, you do have the choices. It should be a little bit higher, I think.
Right.
But anyway, nice. Still a decent spell.
Yes.
And that brings us to the Unity in Divergence. Oh, look at that. Cosmos version. Cast on 11, down to a 9 on the duality.
So this is the big spell. Still
18.
3 dice.
As an augment, it lasts 1 turn. All models in the target unit gain a 5-up ward. All models, okay. Wow.
5-up.
And then as a Chaos Hex direct damage, it's instant. Each model suffers a strength 3 hit. Okay.
Each model in the unit.
Each model in the target unit suffers a strength 3 hit.
Yes.
The Hex version of this is fantastic.
Yes.
The Augment version of this is overpriced.
Yes. Fantastical.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Each model in the target unit suffers a strength 3 hit.
Yep.
I mean, I guess if you're playing somebody who doesn't have toughness 3 in his army, then this might not be that great. But
it's
it's
still good against
you're wounding
pretty
50.
much any infantry block.
Yeah.
Even if they're toughness 4.
Any elven block, you're wounding half the unit.
Yeah, elves or humans and a number of demons are not particularly thrilled. But even toughness 4, you're wounding on a 5.
You're still getting
you
30.
Get a block of 30 guys. That's 10 guys. So
yeah, the only one who are not going to really care are like ogres.
Yeah, monstrous infantry and
I mean you're going to need 5s to wound us. And you can only do 1 wound. You don't
monstrous cav, a lot of heavy cav that has good armor save.
Right.
Isn't going to be too concerned about this.
But yeah, infantries. This is an awesome spell versus infantry.
But and the ward save. I mean, we can't sneeze at a ward save 5. That's a nice.
Yeah, but
it's a little hard to cast.
Look at the other places to get it. Much cheaper.
Yes.
Anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that is cosmology. You got me doing it now.
You can say it properly. It's cosmetology.
The Path of Cosmology.
Yes, you got to bring a little makeup pack. So,
again, good default, decent. It's a decent default. None of these are boosted. They have no boosted versions of any of these.
No,
it's all built into their duality
Correct.
thing. All of it very short range.
Yes,
or not very short range.
This is a lore that you want to have a combat army.
This is definitely a combat army's lore. But if you have a combat army, I think this is a thumbs up. I'm not thrilled with, which is the one I wasn't thrilled with. I think the Perception of Strength is the one that's just a little underwhelming to me. But I like everything else in this list. And I don't sneeze. I'm not, telling you this is a trash spell. I just think for what it does, it's a little high costing.
Yeah.
But I like this lore. A path.
Every spell in this path can be cast with 2 or 3 dice with a wizard master. So
yes,
you can
kind of close on that last one. But, especially if you got duality, though. Yes, easy.
Yes, if you got duality.
Good point.
Yeah, so you can spam this spell, this path.
Yes.
The choices that it gives you it gives you a toolbox that none of the other lores give. Nothing here is super powerful, with maybe the exception of Unity and Divergence against certain targets. But I like this lore a lot.
This is a really good lore. It's definitely getting a thumbs up from me.
Yeah, definitely a thumbs up.
All right, that's second, and it's a path, not a lore, by the way.
Yeah, path.
This is. Oh,
I'm saying Lord as in God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's our second path, and our 2 out of 2 for thumbs up.
Exactly. Until the next one.
Thank you.